Original live stream date October 6, 2025, via StreamYard. The award-winning support our #Creatives podcast, hosted by Alan Greenstein. Our special guest is singer-songwriter, actress, producer Khárma Jai. We will discuss Khárma Jai's multifaceted career in entertainment, and why she finally decided to focus on this musical journey. We will feature her debut album Love HangOver, and discuss the message Khárma Jai is conveying through her music. This is a recording of a live broadcast, so expect some imperfections during the show. There was some editing performed on the original recording. Enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody. This is the Support at #Creatives podcast. My name is Alan Greenstein, the founder and producer of Support at #Creatives, and the goal of our organization is to level the playing field for underrepresented creatives and artists so that they have the same opportunities as everybody else to get their works created, distributed, and seen. I'm also on the board of directors of the Bella Levy Foundation. The goal of the Bella Levy Foundation is to fight human trafficking and to provide a safe haven for its warriors. So I am so happy tonight. Our guest is Khárma Jai, singer, songwriter, actress, producer. So Khárma Jai, why don't you briefly introduce yourself and we'll be on our way.
Hello, everyone. I'm so blessed to be here, honored to be here with Alan. My name is Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Khárma Jai. I am an actress and singer and producer. I have worked in Hollywood for about 20 years now. And I just finally, like Alan said, I got the courage to step into the music industry, although I've been working in and out of it all my life, but I finally decided to make an album. And here we are.
Okay. Well, that's fantastic. Thank you for, I'm so happy to have you here. And thanks for that introduction. Yes. We'll be talking more about exactly what you said. First, let me review how Khárma Jai and I got connected. It was many years ago, way back in 2009. And her name came up via social media. And we actually hooked up. And ultimately, we started working together on projects.
Yeah,
so I really enjoy these long-term relationships that we've had, such as with you. Yeah.
I feel the same way. I feel the same way, Alan. You know, you have a special place in my heart. Always, 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 always. I feel like you were probably the first yes I had from anybody outside of the industry that was just like, I see you and I want to work with you. So I always love and appreciate you for that.
Oh yeah, I feel the same way about you. And as I said, it's been going on strong for all these many years.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about your origination story. How did you get started in the entertainment area? What was the first area of entertainment that you were in, and how did you progress from there?
Yeah. So I actually wrote my first article as a writer in the 8th grade, right? The summer of the eighth grade, I was about 13, turning 14 years old. And I knew I wanted to, I used to write, right? We could even go back further when I was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, talking to my grandmother when in the kitchen when she was making beans at the table. And I was like, writing, and I was like, I want to be what is it called when someone writes books? What's that, Grandma? She was like, a novelist. I said, yeah, a novelist, right? So she went out and bought me this this notebook, and I remember I used to just have my signature in it over and over and over again. And sometimes I would write words, and I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna write a song. But ultimately, like, I started just putting words together that rhymed. That was when I was like 7 or 8 years old. So, like I said, jump to me around 14 years old. And in middle school, I'd taken up like poetry and acting, or started to dabble into it. And I was like, oh, well, what is this? You know, and started to do performing, talent shows and performances and all of that with my friends. And that's when I knew at 14 that I wanted to be a performer. I worked in, like I said, I sang at church. I was in the choir. I was a kid, you know, I was just the one that was dancing, singing, and trying to put words together from a very young age. So that's where it started. Ultimately, though, when Hurricane Katrina happened in New Orleans, in 2005, I was I really was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do or what I was going to do. And I had already been kind of acting in the city. I'd been in New Orleans working in theater. I had an agency or a modeling agency that I had been working with for about 5 or 6 years by then. And I just decided I didn't have much, maybe $250. I was like, I'm going to Hollywood. And I went and I came and I've been here ever since.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so let's see, the whole bunch of genres that I think pretty sure you have been in, like live theater, stand up, acting in films and TV, right?
Yeah, I've done a little bit of everything, right? Because I don't want to seem all over the place. So what had happened was, Alan, when I moved to Los Angeles, I had my eye on the singing and acting prize only. Well, I did a show called Love in the Nick of Time, and I met a lot of fantastic singers. I was like one of the understudies, and David E. Talbot, who I always love and admire, had kind of given me, it was like my first, I had just got to LA, right? So he was like, I'm not going to throw you on stage with everybody right away. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a small role for you, and I'm going to teach you and have you in the environment. But while we were there, Blair Underwood, they were also shooting another show in conjunction called the Stage Black Stage, something like that, right? Where they were filming a show at the same time we were traveling, and Blair Underwood was there, and he was like, I said, well, how I used to harass him and Morris Chestnut a lot. I used to ask a lot of questions, and I said, well, how do you stay in this industry? Like, how do you get longevity? And he was like, you gotta learn how to do everything. You can't just sing and act. You gotta learn how to produce and direct, and because he's old school, so that's the way they came up with the business. So I took that very seriously, and I ran towards all the other things.
Khárma Jai, your audio is coming through kind of choppy. So wonder if yeah, so maybe I wonder if you could go out and come back in again. Okay, let's wait for Khárma Jai to come back in. Hopefully the video will be better. I mean the audio. Yeah, so let's hold on. Stand by, please. Oop. Okay. Okay, we're back. Okay, well, let's start to say something. Let's see what happens.
Okay, so Alan, it does this sometime on StreamYard. I have no idea. Do I still sound choppy or do you hear static?
Okay, it's yeah, I can hardly hear you.
Well, I didn't anticipate this. You can't hear me right now? Testing, testing, testing. No.
No. Okay, please stand by. Okay, say something. Let's see what happens.
Something.
Okay.
Something.
Okay, let's continue.
Something.
Okay, let's.
Something.
All right, can you hear me? Okay.
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm just trying to keep myself muted just in case there's some static.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So okay, let's continue. I'll be editing this, of course, for the for the replay version, so it'll be a smooth transition. Okay. So yeah. So you were talking about your early time. You mentioned you were talking about Why don't you just go through that again? Going through, you mentioned the hurricane being in New Orleans during Hurricane Katrina and everything. So why don't you start from there and continue?
Okay, Alan, can you hear me though? Can you hear me? Is there static? Am I okay? You can't hear me?
No, still can't. We still can't hear you. Well, that's what happens when you have a live broadcast. Sometimes things get a little snafu. Try again. Let's see what's going on now. Okay. Okay. Can you
I'm getting a lot of static. No.
No.
It's StreamYard. It's StreamYard.
I'm not sure what's the problem is. Okay. Let's see. Let me see. I don't think I could even come back. That might stop the whole program.
Can you hear me now? Testing, testing. Testing, testing.
Nice. Okay, hear you. Okay, now you're on mute. Yeah. Okay. Okay, you're on mute right now. Take yourself off of mute and see if I can hear you.
Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing. There's no audio?
No, it's still coming. It's all broken up. Let's see. Okay. I think maybe what I'll do is maybe we should just try to get out completely, and then I'll try to restart, see what happens. So let's find out. I guess that's what I'll do. Let me see first of all, I can get off the stage. Let me see. Let's see.
Hello, everyone. Hopefully, we can get the audio situation together. I feel like it may be I think it's Alan's audio. I don't think it's mine. So how's everybody doing this today?
Okay. So I'm back. So why don't you talk some more? Oh, unmute yourself and talk some more. Let's see what happens.
I'm unmuting myself and talking a little bit more. Can you hear me? Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
now I can.
There's still a little bit of static.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure. I'm not. I don't know why. I think it's StreamYard. I'm gonna blame StreamYard.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's just well we'll just continue now and see how it goes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So well, when you're ready, unmute yourself and then we'll continue. Okay. So once again, let me know if how you sound. Or just say something.
Say something. Do you hear a little static?
Is that
Do you hear static?
I I see some. It's interesting that the video and the audio are not in sync with each other. I don't understand why that is.
I know. I don't know.
Yeah, but
Weird.
and then yeah, and you're also not as clear as you were before. But let's see what happens. Let's see if we can continue anyway and see how this goes. So sorry about that. That this
Okay.
happened. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
all right. It's all right. You were asking me about can you hear me? You were
yeah.
asking
I
me about New
can.
Orleans. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Um okay, you were asking me about New Orleans. I was saying that I was working on the public I was working in theater. Obviously, New Orleans is the hub for jazz and music, and I modeled and I worked as an actress. And so when Hurricane Katrina happened, I just decided, like after going to Houston and then spending some living other places for a little period of time, I decided to come in January of 2006 to Los Angeles, and I've been here ever since.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that certainly was a great move, considering
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah. Right. Tell us about your experience in Love in the Nick of Time.
Love in the Nick of Time was actually my first gig ever. There's a beautiful story. So at the time, I was a temp, like I was a temp receptionist for Tracy Edmonds. Tracy Edmonds is obviously the ex-wife of Babyface. She is a television producer. She is a smart, bossy woman, but she's a filmmaker and she has production company. Wonderful woman. Anyway, I happened to be working as a temp in the office. And so everybody that came in, I was the first face that they saw. So from day to day, you just never knew who was going to walk in the office and who I would interface with. So, so one day, I'll just say this: Robert Townsend walked in, and I was like, "Hey, I'm Tiara," and I told him about myself, and I said, and I'm an actress. Listen, I'm ready. This is the moment, right? And he was like, "Where's your headshots?" I was like, "I can't have a headshot at work." He was like, "Well, that could have been your opportunity." So I went home and put my headshot and all of these things in a bag, and I came to work the next day, and guess who walked in? David E. Talbert. He walked in, and I
Wow.
was reading. He was like, "Where's your reading materials?" Robert Townsend was like, "Where's your reading materials?" I was like, "At home." He was like, "You should have all those things." So of course I go home and put a bag, Uta Hagen's book in my purse, all of that. So when he walks in, I'm reading Uta Hagen, right? Read. And he said, "Oh," David Talbert said, "Oh, you an actress?" I said, "I am." He was like, "Well, can you sing?" I said, "I can." And really that's I then he told me that he was putting together this production for Love in the Nick of Time. And the day they had auditions, I actually missed auditions because I was sick. So like it was like maybe 8 months later than from that moment. They had auditions and I was sick. I said, "Oh, I can't go." So what happened, I called David or I emailed him and I said, "Hey, I missed auditions. I was sick, but don't leave me." I really, really want to work on this show. I'm not letting you leave me. And he called me the next day and said, I like that. I like what you just said. Like, you just was like, don't leave me. I'm leaving. I'm coming with you. And so he allowed me to come over and audition. And although for the role that I was auditioning for, Trinice, my best friend in all my life, right at this moment, she was already he had already cast her as the lead for that role, Portia. And so he had me come over. I sang, like I said, I just got to New Orleans. I just got to Los Angeles. So he was just like, hey, he said, listen, I got, an American Idol doing this role. And so I'll have you as her understudy and I'll give you another part. And I was like, yes. But to me, that was a win. It was like, yes. And so we spent a lot of time on the road. I would say maybe like 8 months on the road, I think, with Love in the Nick of Time. So I spent a lot of time with Morris Chestnut and all of these amazing musicians, Avant, Trinice. I learned so much from them. So for it to be my first gig, it was really, really, really it's probably been the best gig I've ever had ever since. Like, I've done a lot of things, but that was my favorite.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
that's a great story. And what a way
I
to
got
start. What a way to
tons of them.
begin.
I got tons of them, right? Like, I've been here for a long time. I have tons of
Yeah.
stories,
Yeah.
fun stories.
Yep. Want to say hi to Danielle Earl.
Hey,
She's a
Danielle.
filmmaker based in New York, and Danielle and I have been working together about as long as we've been working together.
I know. I've heard. Let me tell you, Danielle. I've heard your name a whole lot over the years. Hey, sis. Hey, hey, hey. We actually should probably know each other since I've heard your name so many times.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. So we're gonna move forward a little bit more. Let's
Okay.
talk about the real network.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, and that's when you and I really started to get you working
Yeah.
together. Like really full force. Yeah,
Yes.
tell us about the real network and its initial purpose, because it has changed over the years. What was the
Yeah.
why did you decide to create the real network?
Well, first of all, I had been producing reality TV and working on shows that I felt like didn't fulfill me. I had been working on all the big shows, right? I had spent some time on Big Brother, Amazing Race, just all of these things. And I didn't feel fulfilled on the inside, right? I did, first of all, I really was just a shadow artist, right? I just really wanted to sing and act, really. But I said, I don't want to make content like this. I want it to be like, I want to change the narrative of specifically Black television. I saw something with Deborah Lee when she was the CEO of BET. She was saying that Black people didn't want positive programming. And I don't know if you remember, Alan, it was like Real Righteous Entertainment initially. And I was like, yes, we do. Yes, we do. And so it was Real Righteous at first. And then at some point, we became the Real Network. And I remember, again, that first show that we produced, I remember coming to you saying, like, man, we're about to produce this thing. We want to produce a TV show. We had met Dr. Boyce by then. I think we had just really, he and I had known each other for maybe like 6 months by then. And he had a platform. He had a platform, and we had creative skills. So I was like, let us make a show of some sort. So we created a show called On the Real with Tierra Williams, and you were the first producer. Again, you were our first yes of the Real Network. That was literally how we were able to jump off the porch, was support our creatives. So that is the Real
Yeah,
Network. Now we're a media production company that creates content for every kind, for clients of every kind. But initially, it was just to create content for the contribution of positive content for Black people.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And tell us about your collaborating. You mentioned Boyce Watkins. Tell us. I know that he's played a very important role. Tell us a little bit more about your collaborations with him, with Boyce
Oh,
Watkins.
yeah, Dr. Boyce has been my second yes. He was my second yes. There's two people on my list of yeses. One is Alan Greenstein, the other one is Dr. Boyce Watkins. And so he just really believed in what we were trying to do. I think I end up sending him a video. You know how you have to make a video for GoFundMe, and I created this quirky, funny video of me like being an actress stuck in all of these terrible situations, and how I wanted to just like make content and make good content. And he thought it was funny, and he was like, yeah, 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 I like this. I don't have any money, but I can give you audience. And that's what I have. And so since then, we have literally been on a journey together creating content. We've created maybe 6 documentaries to this date together. Just all kinds of events, productions. We may or may not open up a film studio here in Los Angeles next year. We've been talking about that. So it's been a very fulfilling relationships because we've made those documentaries that I was talking about that I wanted to make. I've been fulfilled and sustained from that. And actually we all have made them because pretty much everything that I've produced with Boyce, I've been like, Alan, you want to produce with us, you know. So, you know, everything that I produce with Boyce, basically Alan has come on as a producer in some facet.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's nice to hear about how positive your collaboration with Boyce has been, and
Yeah,
and of course, always pleased that I was along for the ride as well.
indeed.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going to stop for a brief commercial, and we'll be
Okay.
right back. I'm Alan Greenstein, founder and producer at Support Our Hashtag Creatives. At Support Our Hashtag Creatives, I offer a number of services to support those developing a project. Check out the services tab of my website at supportourcreatives.com. If you are interested, please use the contact tab on my website or email me directly at alan@supportourcreatives.com. And we are back. So let's continue. Okay, tell us about working with Morris Chestnut.
Ooh, so working with Morris has been fun, right? Morris is, let me just say, I would probably work with Morris the amount of time that I've worked with you and Dr. Boyce, but Morris is way too busy being on television and being fancy. And so so maybe like I told y'all, now we've been friends for about it'll be 20 years coming up next year. And I approached him over the years, you know, we'd keep in touch. I'd be like, hey Mo, how you doing? You know, how you doing? How you what's up? How you what? You know, or I'd see him at the Essence Festival or something like that. Well, sometime in 2021, maybe 2021, I approached him and was like, hey, do you want to make movies with me? And he was like, yeah. I didn't expect him to say that, but he said he would. And so from there we started to like, I'm always throwing him ideas of things that we can make, and so we spent like a year just trying to decide what to write and what to create. And so we settled on a concept that he actually, his dream project that he had been wanting to make, which was a remake of something older. I can't tell you because, you know, because we hadn't made it yet, but he wanted to make a remake of something, but make it modern and very today. And I was like, oh, I could do this. And so I sat down and began to write, pre AI, pre all the things, but we created this beautiful story. And so right when we were starting to talk about shopping it and doing all the things and pitching it, we were hit with a strike.
Oh, wow.
We were hit with a strike. We were down for a year, basically, and we've really been trying to find our footing ever since. Um, but you know, we talk very often, and we talk about. He's just like, I don't know if we can still make this film right now. Like, can we make this? You know. So I think that's always the thing, like us trying to figure out like what we can make, especially with AI and all of these things changing in the business. You know, people are a little bit more apprehensive. You know, I yeah, I mean, just like when so in 2020, I sold a screenplay to Universal. The project was called Supreme. They brought Mario Van Peebles in to be the director. It was a whole movement, y'all. And And it was just we had worked all the way up to get it made. Again, uh strike came, kind of knocked us all back down. So it's very hard to get things made, and at this point it's a little harder unless you're doing it independently.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now we are coming up to the present. We've talked about your music career,
Yes.
right? And okay, so once again, so repeat once again, why is now the time? How did it turn out that now is the time we decided to pursue the music career?
Now is always the time. Did you just hear me say all the things I did, right? I feel like all the things you just heard me say was me running in an opposite direction. Me like pursuing, me saying like, God saying, I want you to pursue this and this, be an actress, be a singer. And what I said was bet. And I ran the other way. And so I said, okay, I'm gonna do it. And then I ran the other way and became a producer and a business owner and all of that. And from that, I never felt like it was enough, right? And I never felt like, okay, yes, we're successful. This is enough. Because the thing that I came for, I felt like I didn't get enough of that. So um I felt like I felt a bit like a bit of an imposter after a while, right? I'm just like, you're a producer now, like you're a business owner now. Suck it up, like go back to you can't do all the things, right? So, I was actually having a conversation with a guy that I was dating at the time, and he must have heard me like humming or singing or something, and he was like, "You should sing," and I was like, huh? And he was like, yeah, you should sing. Like, you can sing. Like, you should sing. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna sing. I said, but here's the thing, I don't feel like a singer anymore. And so he was like, well, do what you got to do to feel like it. So what I did was 6 months later, I enrolled in a music program because I can't just do things in a small way. I got to do all the things. I enrolled in a music program, and I went to music school. And so it was the toughest, most, it confronted all the fears that I had because I realized that I had some fears about maybe watching my best friend pursue her music career in our 20s. What I didn't say was I watched Trinice pursue music in a way and do some of the biggest things. I mean, we sat in music studios with R. Kelly and Neo and all of these different people, and it felt like it was right there every time. Like she sang for David Foster. I mean, this girl's amazing, right? And I would just be there, just kind of watching, and there would be disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. And so what I decided was that no matter what, that wasn't the carrot I was chasing. Instead, I just wanted to make music and really just make my soul happy, right? Like whatever came. I know I wanted to perform on stage and all of that, but I don't know if I want, like if I want to be signed to a label and all of that. Like I don't know if that's for me, but I have watched her be in pursuit of that. And so, anyway, you asked me why I feel like now is the time. I feel like now is the time because, like I said, now is always the time. There's never a better way. I'm the youngest I'll be and the oldest I'll be at the same time. So I think this is the best time for it.
Okay. Okay. So tell us how you came up with Khárma Jai as your musical name.
Yeah. So I was born Khárma Jai, literally. At birth, my mom pushed me out and she said, I shall name her Karma. And it was actually, the name was Karma June. Don't ever call me Karma June, y'all. Don't ever do it. Just call me Khárma Jai. But my birthday's in June. And so my aunt came to the hospital and said, "What is a Khárma Jai? What is that?" you know. And she changed my name to Tierra Lynn. And so I went from Khárma Jai that day to Tierra Lynn. And so funny. And I always wonder who Karma would have been, right? Who if my mother her her vision for Khárma Jai. And so I took a creative approach to that. Who would Khárma Jai have been? And so y'all about to see it through music. Who Khárma Jai would have been.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, I'm going to play a brief promotion video now.
Okay.
And okay, so hold on a moment, please. Okay, here we go.
Here we go. Our first unofficial date happened by mistake. We met at a cafe. I had pancakes and he ordered a waffle because he liked to pour the syrup in the holes. I suppose I didn't know what was happening. We got to rapping, jaws got to flapping, and before I knew it, I was caught up in a rapture of love. I wanted to experience it again and again. He was pressure. He was pleasure. Every time my phone rang, my heart sang. Our conversation was a combination of chemistry, energy, and ecstasy. Not the drug, but it sure felt like it though. You want to know what happened? Yeah.
Okay, so as we can see, Love HangOver, name of the album. So, well, first, tell us about the genre of music that you specialize in.
Yeah. So it's an R&B album, but there is spoken word on the album. Um, that's it. There's spoken word and there's storytelling on the album, but R&B is the is the genre. Hey, June.
Okay, very nice. Yeah, and why was spoken word also an important component to have?
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I started in 8th grade. I wrote, as a matter of fact, I wrote all of the songs. In poetry first. Before I went to the studio, everything that you hear was written in poetic form first, and then me and my writing partner Devin O'Bannon, he would be a genius and be like, "Here's how you put a song to it." And so, I would say, I hear piano on here, and he would just start playing. So everything is made from scratch. There's no like there's no like bought tracks or whatever. He just made everything from scratch. And so that was our experience. So that's why, because it felt good. And I'm a poet, spoken art word artist.
Yeah, wow,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah. So, I'd like to say hi to June DeGiso. He's a filmmaker,
Hey,
and
Joe.
my wife, my wife Randy and I are
Hey, Randy.
associated with a lot of his projects.
Hey, Randy. Hey, June. June.
Yeah,
June. The J is for June. June. I
yeah.
love that. We have the same
So,
name.
so thanks for joining, June. June is a big supporter of this podcast,
Yes.
and yeah, and let's see, and here, and also they'd say hi to Crystal Starnes. It's so nice to
Hey,
have
Crystal.
yeah, so nice to have Crystal joining, and she has a podcast that she has done, including Voice for Victims, which gives people who have had difficulties in their lives, really traumatic situations. She Crystal gives them the opportunity to tell their story so that they feel they actually have a voice. So thank you, Crystal,
Love that.
for being here
Thank
tonight.
you, Crystal. Keep up the good
Yeah,
work. Hmm.
yeah. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so let's see. We'll have Hangover. Where are we in the process right now
Yep.
of Hangover?
So, voting for the Grammys started on Friday. We have
Oh,
received a Grammy consideration nomination for Best Progressive R&B Album. I have been working on a show. So, what I haven't told you, Alan, actually, what we hadn't even talked about yet was that I wanted to create 3 tiers again, I can't just do one thing. I got to do all the things. But I wanted to create three ways to experience a love hangover. So I wanted to kind of make a little micro drama of love hangover so people can digest it on TikTok and enjoy the music and put the music in the thing, in the story. And then also, of course, the album itself, and then the show. And so whenever we're ready for whenever I'm finished putting this show together, and it's going to be amazing. Actually, I will do like appearances here in LA and around, but I think we signed on to headline next year in Brooklyn, next August, I believe, at the All Black National Convention.
Wow. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, you'll have to come through, Alan. I know Brooklyn is, Brooklyn is home, so you got to come on.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
That's exciting. Brooklyn, Brooklyn is the place to be.
Brooklyn. Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, it sure is.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, good. So as I said, so I learned something new tonight, hot off the press, and seeing how you're, planning to basically, a way of promoting your new music through different ways. Always interesting to have people do it because everybody has a different way. And this is the way that you've chosen. And that's really exciting. You got a great plan. Yeah.
Thank you. Little storytelling. I mean, from week to week, like you can come through and there's a little storytelling, just like what you heard a few minutes ago. Like I'm just gonna, create little love stories and put them out from week to week. But the next thing will be like a little micro series. I'm not gonna spend a year doing a micro series. We're gonna take a weekend and do it, Alan. It's not. I don't want to do all the things, but I want a way for people to digest it in this very different creative world, or the way that people consume music is different. It's just different. So I'm trying to meet that.
Yeah. No, that is so. I'm so excited for you. And as I said, as you took this path, here you are now making the most of it. Great things are going to be happening. Yeah. Yeah. So well, let's see. In terms of your process of making a particular song for the album. I mean, there was typically is a what comes. The words usually come first, followed by the melody afterward. Is that typically the order, or could it be a mixture of both?
It's definitely the words for the Love Hangover in particular. It was a story that came first, right? The same gentleman that I told you earlier that had encouraged me to sing, well, we broke up. Wait. Well, first of all, he was like, well, maybe we can make an album together because he's also an artist. And I was like, okay, cool. So when I first started making songs, that was the move. But then after we broke up, I just kept going. And I was like, oh, this is giving me so much to write about. So to be honest, the whole idea of the love hangover came, and I was like, I feel hungover over this whole situation. And again, like I said, I wrote it like poetry. And so by the time I got to the studio, I would just say like, here's what I hear, but and thankfully I had somebody that's insanely talented there going like playing things at the same time on the piano, right? He would just pull out the piano and be like this. I'd be like, yes, like that. Like, and also the things that I didn't have, he had. And so shout out to Devin O'Bannon, shout out to Black Irish Entertainment, just for helping me get through the process. Because I'd never created anything until I went to music school and actually start really writing songs.
Wow. Yes. Yeah. So how long were you in music school?
It's a year program. I did half the year before it just was a little too overwhelming. So I decided, instead of staying in the full program, because it was super expensive as well, instead of staying in the program, I just figured I would train with different people. So if you see on social media, I have a vocal coach that I work with. I work with a choreographer. We just do it. Like I go to the studio. So I've just kind of made that my what I call R&B boot camp. I literally call it an R&B boot camp. I'd be like, okay, today we're going to R&B boot camp. And so just trying to condition myself that way.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
I feel like
Okay.
it's better than going to school, because they were also teaching us how to produce music, which is great. But I didn't go for that reason. I don't want to be an engineer. So it was just like the things that I needed, I felt like I just would have to create on my own. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So okay, we're gonna stop for another brief commercial, and we'll be right back. I'm Alan Greenstein, founder and producer at Support Our Hashtag Creatives. If you make something, albeit make a movie, start a business, write a book, make a physical product, run a nonprofit, promote people, are a songwriter, etc. You too are a creative, and I would love to have you be a guest on the Support Our Hashtag Creatives podcast. If you want to be featured on this podcast, please use the contact tab on my website at supportourcreatives.com or email me directly at alan@supportourcreatives.com. Okay, we're back. Yeah. So, is there are there any ways that the public in general can get involved in terms of helping you with financial contributions or something like that? Like a Patreon, have anything like a Patreon or anything like that that people can get interesting information about your album?
Yeah, no, not yet. Okay, so here's the deal. Maybe a couple weeks ago, I was sitting in a meeting, and they were in the meeting, they were talking about Patreon. And I was listening to how artists were really a couple years ago. I was like, I need to start a Patreon, right? And then it came just a few weeks ago. I was like, oh, that's right. I got to start a Patreon. So I came up with a plan to create a Patreon. It's not live or anything yet. I did go and fill out all the information, but I hadn't made it live because I just really wanted to be able to commit to that process of creating content and uploading it and being there with the supporters. So the answer is it's coming, but not yet. In terms of if somebody wants to be involved, maybe say a producer on the Love Hangover, the micro drama, you can absolutely reach out to me if that's in fact what you want to do, or if you live in Los Angeles and just want to be a part and put your hand on it. I'll take it because I need all the help that I can get as a creative. We're all doing it from scratch. We just need to barter and help. And however I can help you, I would love to help you as well. But yeah, I would say that if you want to be a producer or you want to come on in some capacity, please go to KhármaJai.com and reach out.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mhm.
As once again, as I often say, everybody has a different way of getting from point A to point B. So, yeah. So
Mhm.
now we understand what your approach is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what is next for Khárma Jai?
I'm going to park right here for a second, and I'm going to, although I have been approached about working on an EP with a really good friend of mine. When you hear the album, the last song is called Let It Go. That gentleman who I stole the track from, he sent me he was like, oh, I got this song, and sent it to me, and I took it and put 2 verses on it and just colored it in all the Khárma Jai. He was like, wait a minute, this was my song, right? So what he asked me afterwards was to do a to do an EP together. And so we may do that, but right at this moment, I really can't wrap my mind around a new album situation. I have to kind of see the Love Hangover and just allow it to grow a steam. I mean, right now people are voting for the thing to either be Grammy considered or not. So I just want to make sure I'm sitting in all of the goodness. We literally just released the album maybe a month ago. So I'm still in the middle of rollout, still in the middle of kind of getting my bearings and getting it out to the people and doing things like this that can introduce me to June and Crystal and Danielle and all of the people that are watching right now.
Oh, that's nice. That's great.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the Grammy process, how long, what is the next step? How long will it take before you know if you've made it to the next step?
Nominations are announced in November, so I'll know in the next month. Right
Oh,
now, yeah, they are. At this moment, people are they're just voting. They're listening. I'm number 50 on the ballot. That's what I do know, and so people are just going through and listening. The Academy is just listening to mad music right now, right, from all of these artists that have been nominated. So I was so fortunate to be in that number. Like the day we released was the day we were nominated. Like that never,
wow.
ever, ever happened. So, I just think part of it is that your girl is running so fast, and I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing. And you know how determined I can be, Alan. And so, so it's that. But I just want to, and so in November they decide who is nominated for a Grammy, and if it's Love Hangover, then we are on that ballot and at the Grammys in February.
Wow.
I
Okay,
know.
well, we all wish you the best of luck, all our viewers and everybody. So it's yes.
Prayers, luck, I'll take all of it.
Yes. Okay. Oh. So let's see. What's your advice for people who want to emulate what you are doing?
Don't. No, I don't do it. No. Um, I would say just go after it. It's like it whatever it is, I struggled. I turned 37 or 38 and it was just like, oh, it's too late. Like I all in my 30s I was like, you can't be a singer. Like what will people say? And are you still a singer even though you was a singer before? Are you still a singer now? It was all of this doubt that I dealt with, and I think I still deal with. I mean, I had, the difference is that I just don't let the fear consume me. I just kind of get up and I just keep it moving. Like, oh, what if this is not good enough? Oh, what if you're not, some of the things people would say, because people project, is before I put the album out, people would say, well, I mean, yeah, you have a nice voice, but I mean, you're not like Aretha Franklin. I was like, yeah, but I'm not even trying to be Aretha Franklin. And how do you know who I am? You've never heard the album. You don't know who I am as a singer. Shut up, right? So then after I put the album out, people that never ever ever in their lives this was like, I'm thinking about taking some singing lessons. I was like, you should. My cousin became a rapper. It's just all types of things happening. And before, right, like before I had really shown, I feel like maybe I'm the blueprint. So I would say to you, maybe you are the blueprint. Maybe you are that blueprint in your family or in your friend circle, so you just can't worry about what people say. If you want to emulate what I've done, I would just say don't worry about emulating what I've done. Emulate, just find a process of your own that works. Yes, I might be in LA and I've been here for 20 years and I've met all these different people. But so like that doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's like, it's still you. You. It's only about you. It's only about the things that you want to do. So I just encourage you to go. I mean, this is the life we got, baby. And you just want to make sure that you're living it. And at the end of the day, you can say, well done. Like you can say, man, like the day, Alan, that Love Hangover came out, I said, if you never make another song again, Tierra, you've done what you wanted to do. You've done that's not what I'm not, that's not it. But I just thought like, you did that. You did that and you did it well. You did it with excellence. It took me 3 years to make this album. And so, for me, it's like, yeah, it's just been, I would just say, just go after it. All the other things will appear once you just start to take steps forward. Had I not, I mean, a lot of the times I'd be like, I don't know where I'm gonna get money from. I'm pretty sure the mini drama, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't have any money because I'd be paying for all the other things that are tied to music. It's kind of like my crack habit right now. But it'll appear. Like people will appear, help will appear whenever you need it. So I would just say walk towards that and let the momentum propel you. Yes, go be great.
Yeah. Well, thank you for those golden nuggets of wisdom. Yes, everybody. Once again, everybody. I always interested in hearing this because everybody has some great things to say about people, giving people encouragement. That's the important part.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's important.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah. Yes. Do you have any? Okay. So, how can people get in touch with you?
Yeah. I'm at KharmaJai.com. That's KharmaJai.com. You can go to Khárma Jai Music across all the platforms. You can email me at I think I'm at KharmaJ at Gmail, I think, or on the I got to I think it's info at Khárma Jai on the site. Whatever. Just go to the site and just fill it out, and I'll hit you back.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's
Easy
good.
peasy.
Yeah. Okay. So, yes. Okay. Go to the website, as you say, karmaj.com, and then from there you'll be able to, go further in terms of contact.
Yeah. Or call
Excellent.
Alan. Call Alan. He'll call me.
Okay, that will work too. Yes.
Call Alan. He'll call me. We got you.
Yes. Okay. Very good. Is there any final parting words you have before we wrap it up?
My parting words are this. Um, it's really just like a moment to just acknowledge, and I know you get a little shy because I will just keep bragging about Alan until the wheels fall off of my car and whatever. I will keep bragging about him until really just until the end of my journey. But it's really just like a how much I respect what you do and how you've created this beautiful platform for artists to be able to pursue their dreams and to live out loud. And it feels like the world doesn't care about artistry. It doesn't care about the things creatives. Like this is really, but I feel like we're the salt of the earth, y'all. I feel like it's important for you to get that screenplay, that essay, that whatever it is that is inside of you is so important for you to get it out. But it's also equally important to have that support. And so that's why I turn my attention towards people like Alan who just have a heart for creatives. From every creative that you've ever worked with, I'm pretty sure we all feel the same way. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We appreciate you. We love you. You don't ask for a whole lot. It's almost like I've never met somebody that just wants you to go off and be happy. Just go off and do the things you do and love the things you do, and that's really the only requirement outside of course, like the things that we do for each other and the trade that we have. But like I appreciate that. There's not many people like you, Alan Greenstein. So I really appreciate you and I love you, and I'll say it publicly every chance I get. Thank you, thank you, thank
No.
you, thank you.
Well, thank you. And this is, I like to say, this is what I do. This is what I want to do. And my podcast here is my way of this is the method I've chosen to get the message out there for people to be on my
Yeah,
podcast.
I love
So
it.
that's what I
I
do.
love
Thank
it.
you.
And you've come
Yeah.
a long way, right? We was blogging, and
Yeah.
then we was like, okay, I'm gonna do some radio, and then I'm gonna do this, and then I'm a podcast. So to have you
Yeah.
on camera and making growing in your creativity has been a beautiful blossom too.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah. Just like I said, it took a while for me to decide to go this route, but well, that's what I'm doing now. And there could be some surprises ahead. We'll see, right?
We'll
There might be
see.
some things coming up. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Very good. Well, I just want to say that thanks once again to Khárma Jai for being on. So it's
Thank you.
great to have been working with her all these years
Yeah.
in her various disciplines and such. And let's say this for those who were not able to watch the live, this is going to be repurposed and put out to various streaming platforms like Spotify, and also will be broadcast over the Canadian TV service known as Jess TV, JESS TV. So be on the lookout for that. So with
Wonderful.
that, I'm going to say, well, what am I going to say? I'm going to say, good night, everybody.
Good night. It's nice to meet y'all. Bye.
Episode credits. Main interview portion, originally live streamed and recorded by StreamYard, was repurposed by Alan Greenstein. Support our hashtag creatives. Animated and static logos were created by Shakisha Williams. Episode thumbnail static promo image was created by Alan Greenstein, using Canva. Episode intro and outro were written by Alan Greenstein. Episode intro and outro voices were created by text-to-speech technology, using Balabolka. Episode was edited and packaged by Alan Greenstein, using Camtasia and Spotify for creators. Thank you for spending time with us. Please tune into our subsequent shows as well as our previous shows.